Have you ever reached a point where life felt overwhelming, where the weight of pain, fear, or uncertainty seemed too heavy to carry? In those moments, Jesus stands as the ultimate example of resilience. He didn't live a life free of suffering. He faced betrayal, loneliness, physical pain, and even death. Yet, he showed us how to rise above the storms of life. Today, let's walk through 6 lessons from his life that reveal the secret to true spiritual strength. When Jesus was tempted in the wilderness after 40 days without food, Satan whispered words of doubt. "Turn these stones into bread if you are truly the Son of God." But Jesus replied, "It is written, 'Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of God.'" In that moment, he showed us that real strength doesn't come from physical comfort or worldly success, but from trusting in God's promises. Even when everything seems scarce, faith in God's word becomes the anchor that holds us steady. The night before his crucifixion, Jesus went to the Garden of Gethsemane. His heart was heavy, his soul deeply troubled. 3 times, he fell to the ground and prayed, "Father, if it is possible, let this cup pass from me. Yet not my will, but yours be done." Prayer wasn't just something Jesus did. It was his lifeline. In his darkest hour, he turned to his Father again and again. Through prayer, he drew strength not to escape suffering, but to endure it with courage. That's the power of persistent prayer. It transforms weakness into resilience. On the night of the Last Supper, Jesus did something shocking. He took off his robe, knelt down, and began washing his disciples' feet. This was the work of a servant, yet the Son of God chose it willingly. Then he said, "I have given you an example, that you should do as I have done to you." Jesus revealed that serving others doesn't make us weak. It makes us strong. Because, in lifting others up, we rise too. True resilience is not selfish. It is rooted in love and service. When the disciples were caught in a storm at sea, fear gripped their hearts. But Jesus stood and said, "Why are you afraid, O you of little faith?" Then he calmed the winds and the waves with a single command. Faith is not the absence of storms. It's the confidence that God is greater than the storm. Jesus' faith never wavered, even in the face of chaos. And he showed us that when our faith is firm, fear loses its power. On the cross, with nails driven through his hands and the crowd mocking him, Jesus spoke words that continue to shake the world. "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." Forgiveness is not easy. It feels unnatural. Yet, forgiveness is one of the greatest sources of spiritual strength. Bitterness chains us down, but forgiveness sets us free. Jesus' forgiveness wasn't a weakness. It was the strongest act of love ever displayed. Finally, Jesus showed ultimate resilience by surrendering to the Father's plan. In Gethsemane, he surrendered his will. On the cross, he declared, "Into your hands I commit my spirit." Surrender doesn't mean giving up. It means trusting that God's way, even when painful, leads to a greater victory. Through surrender, Jesus turned what looked like defeat into the greatest triumph in history, the resurrection. So what's the secret to resilience? It isn't found in worldly power, wealth, or strength. It's found in Jesus' example. Trust in God's word. Pray without ceasing. Serve with humility. Hold on to faith. Forgive freely, and surrender to God's will. These 6 lessons remain the foundation of unshakable strength. If you've been encouraged by this message, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more reflections that will lift your spirit. And always remember, when you walk with Jesus, no storm can break you.